Conversation was casual at first, but smoothly transitioned into us speaking about his successful businesses and investments, which I learned after we broke up. The businesses were owned by his ex's mother, and he was a personal assistant. That night and morning, we went for rounds. As I was taking a shower that morning, the power went out. This man looked me dead in my eyes and told me he forgot to pay his power bill. He told me that he was 3 days away from being broke. After spending some years abroad for university from my hometown, I ran into a guy from my earlier days in college. We both had very strong feelings for each other, but the timing was off, so it never really worked out. We lost touch and connected again when we ran into each other. Conversation was casual at first, but smoothly transitioned into us speaking about his successful businesses and investments, which I learned after we broke up. The businesses were owned by his ex's mother, and he was a personal assistant. What? We learned that both of us were in the same industry and figured we would connect again to do business. Or so I thought. Our first outing, we grabbed food, drinks, and drove around the city, catching up on old memories. We went back to his place and he rang me out like a washcloth. I have never heard sex put that way in my life. We went back to his place and he rang me out like a washcloth. That is quite the metaphor. That night and morning, we went for rounds. As I was taking a shower that morning, the power went out. This man looked me dead in my eyes and told me he forgot to pay his power bill and that he'll handle it. I slept by him on and off for about 2 weeks. Did the power ever come back? Because if you're going back to his house with no power just for sex, that is crazy. I slept by him on and off for about 2 weeks and noticed this guy would smoke a pack of Newports in about 4 hours. But once night fell, it was as if the dick would put me in a trance, forgetting all the bad. About 1 month later in the car, he told me that he was 3 days away from being broke. 3 days away? What is 3 days away from broke? If you're broke in 3 days, you're already broke. About 1 month later in the car, he told me he was 3 days away from being broke. In the very same breath, we pulled up to a gas station. He asked me if he could have $3. 3. I asked what for. He said he had left his cash at home and wanted to get water to drink. And yes, I gave it to him. There's no cash at home. Nobody asked for $3 other than crackheads and drunks. This man walked into the gas station bare feet to grab a pack of Newport cigarettes, came back into the car and said, "Haha, I tricked you," then proceeded to blow smoke in my face. Wait, was he also driving bare feet? I have so many questions. The next day after dropping me to work, you still went back to his place that night. The next day after dropping me to work, he called about 3 hours later, asked if I could lend him $200. I asked why. Why are you even asking why? Why are you asking why? That means you're actually considering this. I asked why and he told me, don't worry about it. Nonetheless, I still gave it to him. He would always ask me to pay for things and I would pay like a dense idiot because of you know what. Whenever he took me home for a change of clothes because I would spend the night with him, he would ask me for gas money. Then it was as if the round he put on me in the nighttime and then the next morning was a factory reset. You're actually just dick dumb. This is crazy. You're paying his bills. You're paying for his gas. You're lending him money just for dick. I decided to break it off with him when he realized that his ex and I worked in the same office complex. And he told me if she asked anything, tell her we're just friends. I had to draw the line somewhere. This is where you draw it? This is where you draw the line. Remember that $200 I gave him? Yeah, and everything else you gave him. I found out that he also asked another friend of ours for $300 to go along with my $200 so that he could pay for his medication. Our friend pressed him on what he needed the money for, and he told him that he needed it for his blood test to pay for his penicillin and additional medication because he had contracted S, C, and G from his ex-girlfriend and begged the friend not to tell me. I ran to get tested and everything came back clear. I may have been stupid, but I made that clown use a condom every single round. Do you find grace in that? I made him use a condom, so... you know, paying the bills and stuff. Yeah, condom. I haven't seen or spoken to him since then, and I hope to Christ I never. But yeah, don't judge me. I'm not judging you. There's no judgment here, by the way. Just to make it clear, there's never any judgment. I have my opinions. I share my perspectives on these, but never judgment. Mostly. So, let's go back to the beginning real quick. You rekindle something with this old flame, and he pretty much puts you into a dick trance. You pay for everything he wants, you send him money, and apparently you forget everything the next morning because of the sex. And this goes on and on for about a month. You giving him money, him sleeping with you, giving him money, him sleeping with you. And the time you draw the line, not the $200, not paying for his gas back and forth, but when you draw the line is when he tells you to tell his ex you guys are just friends. That is where it's unacceptable for you. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you didn't catch anything. To be honest, this was a mutually beneficial exchange. He was getting money, you were getting what you wanted. Everybody won.
Hey, yo, I don't even know where to start, bro. Like, where do I begin? So I guess this is an old fling, right? They go back together, begin hooking up. she began spending quality time over at his place. You know, things are pitch perfect at the initial start. Guy's boasting about all these businesses he got going on for himself. Meanwhile, we find out later that's not the case. It's his ex's mother's or something like that. And the worst part is, the more she keeps on hooking up with this guy, the more he starts asking her for shit. It starts off with $3, and then he moves on to $200. He's just using her for money, and he's repaying her with that schlong he got in his pants. Now, this girl is so gullible. I mean, I don't know if she knows that she's getting used or not, but like, that's insane. I mean, at this point, I don't care how much that cucumber he has packed, how much good it is, but you gotta realize he's using you. Guy's a bum. Like, it's hilarious. Like, the fact that he was asking you for money and stuff, you should have realized this, and you should have actually put him on his spot. You should have told him, I thought you got them businesses going. What's going on? I thought them businesses are bringing money. You told me you have, like, what? How many businesses you running? You were boasting about that. Why are you asking me for shit? You know what I mean? And to make matters worse, he was talking about how he was like 3 days from being broke. Like, what does that even mean? 3 days from being broke? I never heard such a term, bro. It's either you're broke or you're not. You're broke now or you're not. It's not like, there's no time to that shit, bro. It just hits you like right there and then. But anyways, yeah, I guess she drew the line when she started working with his ex on the same building, and then he was telling her to lie to her or whatever. My thing is, like, I think this guy and his ex are still together. Still gotta be something going on. And to make matters worse, guy caught some kind of disease, bro. She lucky she didn't test positive for that, let me tell you that. But anyways, I guess she learned her lesson, I hope. I mean, you got to, right? Like, if she hadn't learned her lesson after this point, I would have said she ain't got no brain cells. But in the end, she cut him off, which is good, because, like, yo, by the end, by the looks of this guy's toxic as hell, and he's gonna run all your finances down the drain, right? So instead of you even fronting him like a couple $100 and all that, you should have told him to get a job, bro. Get a job, you know. But hey, she was just cucumber crazy, if you know what I mean, right? She liked the size of his, you know what, fill in the blank. It is what it is. But yeah, hopefully she learned a lesson.
The audio recording that's been going viral recently of
Someone's girl getting her back blown in.
by another man. Right hand on the Bible and the sweet heavenly Lord above can strike me down with lightning if I'm lying.
I wouldn't wish that shit on my worst enemy.
Like, there's genuinely no proper words in the dictionary to explain to you guys how badly I would crash out if this happened to me. I would deadass just have to start recreating some of the most devious
Saw traps of all time. And it's like my brother.
The worst part about the whole thing is that this guy's girl was laughing the entire time. I'm telling you right now,
I would pull up and air that bitch out.
and to the people that have had this happen to them, y'all are more heavenly saints than me, because if this happened to me,
Plenty of lives are getting forfeited.
cheating should be a
Criminal fucking offense.
because if this shit ever happened to me, I would never be the same man again. This situation has never happened to me, and I can only
Pray to the Lord above
that it never does, but just hearing this audio recording had me ready to block every girl in my phone.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Imagine that, eh? Like, not only do you get cheated on, but there is physical proof, right? There's like a recording. How are you gonna feel about that? That's embarrassing. To make matters worse, it's like on social media, so all your friends and family are gonna see that. Man, oh man. You know what? I'm not gonna blame the guy if he crashes out. I ain't blaming him for shit, because this is really hard to handle. Whatever he does, I actually support him. Don't do anything stupid to land yourself in jail. That's it. That's all I say.
What in the get out is going on here? So I saw this on X, y'all, and I had to share this with y'all. So this couple, this interracial couple, went on a date, right? Now this dude posted this on Facebook originally, and it went viral. He said, "This is why I don't usually date outside my race." Now, if y'all have never seen the movie Get Out, you better go watch it. So basically, he went out with this girl. They went on a date. That was the picture of them. And then she texted him saying, "I definitely enjoyed our night out, but I don't think my parents can find out about us, ... He said, "Same here, and why?" And she said, "They despise black guys. My last black boyfriend, let's just say it didn't go well. They literally set him up to be put in jail for life for something he didn't even do. Google Wellington. I really like you, but I don't want anything to happen to you." Not giving his government name. And then he replied and said, I like you too. And yeah, that's crazy. I went to school with him. Maybe if you sat down and had a conversation with them, they'll loosen up. Think they would be down for dinner? And she said, I'll ask, LOL, because I really like you and I will not lose you. And then he said, I don't want to lose you either. And then she basically said that her mom and stepdad would be open to meeting that evening. So I guess he meets the parents. He takes a screenshot of the dinner and shows receipts of the meeting. This is so creepy. So he took her phone and saw a message. This is so creepy, y'all. Saying this. He said, it says basically that was her talking to her mom. Mommy love. He seems well put together, but it's something about him me and Jeff don't approve of. He seems like he would be good around the house for things we need, but not for a relationship. Tried to convince him to start working for us. And once we take a trip to the mountains this summer, well, know the rest. Well, you know the rest. What? And then she said, Mom, I really like him. Can I at least keep him? He's very sweet. What? And then she said, not at all. Dating a black guy in the South, especially Mississippi, is not recommended. Do as you're instructed, please. You'll find someone better. And then she says, okay, I'll let him know that Jeff is hiring for work around the house. And like, what? He then posted this post on FB saying, so this is why I stopped dating outside my race. Would be good and set up. And to this day, she still don't know that I saw those messages in her phone because I left afterwards and never said nothing else about it. Be careful out here, especially in Mississippi. Y'all better be safe. This is crazy. This is literally insane that this is a true story.
Hey, yo, I actually heard about this story. This story is crazy. My thing is, like, why is this dude still with her, bro? If her parents are like that, like, why are you even still seeing her? I mean, I get it. You love her. She loves you too. But, like, at the end of the day, bro, if you're not going to really get past her parents like that and you already heard what happened to her last dude she was seeing, do you want to be in that statistics? Do you want people to be like 5 years from now, oh yeah, him too, yeah, it's unfortunate what happened to him? Like, come on, you don't want to be in that predicament, right? Like, come on, just leave her, bro. I don't know what's up with my man's, like, the hints right there, bro. Why are you avoiding it?
Would you rather cheat on your girl or snitch on the homies for a crime that they didn't commit?
Hey, I'm sorry, Gangy, but you gotta go away for some time, bro.
Stop the cap.
And you snitching on the homies?
I'm going to be 100% honest here. Women don't care about what they do to you. The only way that they will start caring is if you just cut them off. You show them silence. You don't give them a second chance. And the reason why I recommend this is I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I may be speaking from personal experience, but also just from watching other people. It takes people a long time to change, a very long time. And when you keep accepting what they're doing, that's giving them permission to do it again. If someone disrespects you, if someone's abusive towards you, and you stay with them, you're giving them permission to do it again because they gave you an out and you didn't take it. Now, do I always recommend for people to not give second chances? Of course not. There are times where people deserve a second chance, but like I say, if you want to give someone a second chance, focus on their act.
All right, y'all. Who the fuck was I dating? Part 1. Disclaimer, this story is so, like, fucked up. If you guys, like, have trust issues, don't even watch this, like, truthfully, because once you find out, like, how fucked up people can be, he, like, changes your outlook on everything. Literally, like, shaking, and the crazy part is that I swear I'm okay. Just talking about this, like, actually makes me want to crawl up. Okay, so to start off, I met this girl last year around May. So around this time last year, like, I met her after my birthday. My birthday is May 20th. Everyone pay attention to the time stamps. So boom, we meet at the very end of May and we talk literally all summer long, y'all. Like, we were just going on dates, hanging out, just like getting to know each other all summer. Mind you, both of us were going to college at the end of the summer, so it was always going to be like deaded after summer. We both ended up catching feelings for each other and over summer, and so when we were going back to school, we just weren't about to leave each other alone. So she asked me out on November 1st, the night of Halloween, like late as fuck. This is how she asked me to be her girlfriend. Obviously, like, out of a movie. So when August came around and we both went back to school, we were completely exclusive. We were staying on the phone with each other, going to sleep. she would literally always come up here. She would take me on dates. Like, honestly, like, as a partner or whatever, she was, like, filling me with just, like, everything that I thought that I had needed. I would have classes Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. So right after my class on Wednesday, almost every single week, I would get out of class, drive to her college, which was like 2 hours away, and I would go to her basketball game on Wednesday, and then I would go on Saturday. I was literally spending the most time that I possibly had with this girl, and she was living 2 different lives, or like 3, maybe 4, who knows, 5, 6, 7, 8. Y'all, when I tell you it was really giving, you take Wednesday, Thursday. I originally ended up breaking up with her because I caught her texting her ex, but turns out during our whole relationship, she was sleeping with her teammate throughout our entire relationship. You guys cannot make this up. And obviously, this is new information. I have never spoke about that part. I actually just found out recently. Teammate told me herself basically everything that happened and that they were sleeping together our whole relationship. And in the end of the day, what really went on here, like when I've taken like a week to like really just like think about it, these are 2 people who got a rise off of doing that. Like they completely got a kick off of like just having me at the basketball games, having me in her face and like just stuff like that. Like y'all were sleeping together our whole relationship and I was all in the mix of it. And I just know for a fact, like, they just, like, got a rise off of it. Like, the girl that my ex was sleeping with talks about how she, like, loves doggish people and, like, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, that's cool for y'all. But, like, to have me in the mix of dirty hoes is just so... It was very hard for me to like realize this too, but my ex definitely just used me for an opportunity because I liked her and she just wanted to date me, I guess, but she also wanted to, you know, yeah. So all of those get ready with me's to go to my girlfriend's basketball games, get ready with me to go to my girlfriend's house, get ready with me at my girlfriend's house. There was literally another bitch in her bed the whole time, y'all. Make it clear, they started sleeping together in August. Every time I would leave or whatever, my ex-girlfriend would tell her like when I was leaving and stuff like that so that they could fuck. About to film part 2 and just put like receipts and stuff in it so y'all can go to the next part.
Anyways guys, that's the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know what y'all thought. Comment about that first story. What do you guys think about that chick, whatever, who went away for college and reunited with her long lost ex-lover, whatever, and yeah, she became dick crazy, I guess. She lost her common sense for a bit up until the last second here where she had to draw the line. Yeah, let me know what y'all thought about that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace.